This looks completely different from the backing plate I have now. Hey guys, so it turns out I've got a worn backing plate here on my 15mm Mark II, and the hot new detail item, this is what we're all waiting for. XL Detailing Supplies. Whoa, okay. So it's released by Detail Division and Shine Supply out of Ventura, California. Never met Jeremy, heard great things. Collaboration, evolution. Whoa. Look at the difference in like the width. So this has like a soft interface pad, right? This is soft. This feels like they're going straight like firm. Feels like firm plastic. Anyway, what do I know? First impressions from myself. So I'm gonna work on getting my back. I've never replaced a backing plate before. You guys have done this a million times. You're gonna make fun of me and say, Nick, what a hack. So I've unscrewed the Rupes backing plate, which, as I've said, feels much thicker and has more cushion. And you see how much more is exposed through there. But you're gonna have a pad on there. So to me, this already, just in my hand, so thin, so like rigid, it just feels like a war machine, to be honest with you. Alright, I'm pointing to a little 2000 grit sanding mark that I inflicted into the paint, and I'm putting a Oberk microfiber pad on there, blowing out the pad and then applying the compound here. Oberk Supreme Cut. Going to work on priming the pad. I had a chance to reach out to Scott at Detail Division, and he told me a little bit more about this particular backing plate. It's made by Excel over in the UK. And so there's a previous version that had 3 different colors. I don't know if it was titanium or whatever, kind of a metal. Maybe there were concerns over safety, having that, near car paint. Maybe it looked a little bit too attractive to the DIYer. And this backing plate is really meant for the pro, to help the pro cut paint a lot faster. What's great about the XL backing plate is it frees up the things that Rupes engineered for safety. This backing plate helps you continue to spin along an edge. Rupes designed their machines to stop spinning on an edge for safety, so it's really safe for beginners. This is an evolution of the first design, and it took a lot of the input from the end user into the design. What this backing plate does is it's basically designed, I'm told, to be just a little bit further away from the shroud to allow it to spin more freely. I have a sense, and this is me freestyling a little bit, it's not what Scott told me, but this is kind of unlocking what this machine can do for you. Rupes has designed an elegant machine. If you've ever seen a Porter cable or something even a little bit more basic, a Harbor Freight dual action polisher, they're just very basic shapes and kind of square. I'm not describing it super well, but when you see the Rupes machine, when you feel it, when you use it, you realize it's elegant. It's meant to be comfortable and elegant, and form and function are intertwined. It really is gorgeous engineering. The idea with the washer mod from Kevin Brown is to make the machine spin more freely. What a lot of people like about the Melee, which is forced rotation, is that the backing plate continues to spin. So applying pressure on that machine is very effective because the backing plate doesn't stop spinning. Whereas a dual action machine, as you apply pressure, it can stop the backing plate from spinning. Optimal performance, according to those who make this machine, is when your backing plate is spinning freely, and that's sort of the idea. So you sort of know your technique is on or off based on whether the backing plate is spinning, is what I've been told, and you can adjust accordingly around edges. It slows you down though, right? People like the rotary because that thing just spins in one direction nonstop all the time, depending on the speed you put on that trigger. What I'm noticing with the Excel plate is it feels kind of like a rotary. Not in the way a rotary actually performs, but in the way that I just feel like I've got a chainsaw in my hand, and that's kind of what you want. If you're going to spend time on paint, it really should be in the refining stage. I don't want to spend 6 hours cutting a car or a truck. I really don't. I'd love to do it in 1 or 2. And if you're out there, I hope you can do it in 30 minutes. I mean, there are guys that are a million times faster than me. I know that. But any time saved for me is a good thing. This thing just feels like it's getting it done. And like I said, the idea here is I believe this backing plate, although it looks thinner and smaller, quite frankly, it does sit further away from the shroud, which I'm told helps promote a more free spinning pattern. This is the first time I'm using it, and I'm working with the polisher with really, really fast arm movements. And I've since realized that, yeah, sometimes you still got to cut with slow arm movements, and all the same technique applies with this backing plate. But if you really want to crank it, it's almost like giving you a speed 7. Especially if you're someone who cuts on a really high speed. This is like giving you another speed setting, I guess. What does that mean with torque and throw and orbit? I don't know. It's just like what I feel when I have this machine in my hands. Long term, I don't know how it's going to hold up. Long term, I don't know how I'm going to like it for finishing. I was chatting with Scott at Detail Division, and he was talking about how he liked Sonak's Perfect Finish, and that sometimes if people have a certain foam pad and they're not breaking down the abrasives or whatever the proper terminology is, that sometimes you're not going to get the optimal finish because you're not actually agitating the polishing liquid enough, where this backing plate actually helps you do that even on a slower speed. And if I totally butchered that explanation, I'm apologizing in advance. But I'm interested to see how this impacts my finishing. I will say that I tried it again on a different vehicle that I'm going to do a video about shortly, and I test Turtle Wax ceramic polish and wax, and I used a Rupes yellow wool pad, and I also used Lake Country HDO orange, just to kind of see what kind of gloss I could bring out of this Dodge. Not to do a full correction, just a real nice gloss enhancement. And so I've had a chance to kind of experiment with the backing plate a little more, and it's good. I like it a lot. I'm excited to really go to town on a car that is paying for a 2-step and a ceramic coating, that I can grab a microfiber pad and, you know, M105, M110, something like that, and just see how quickly I'm able to correct a vehicle, and then maybe see how it works with finishing and kind of go from there. But my first impression is I'm really impressed. I'm excited. Like I said, I had a worn backing plate, and the problem there was the pad wasn't always sticking. The Velcro wasn't always sticking, and I guess that's what it means to have a worn backing plate, is the Velcro starts to tear or starts to wear out. So I knew I needed a new backing plate, and instead of going with the standard Rupes one, I just had heard some things about this one, decided to try it out. Really glad I did. If you guys want to support Scott over at Detail Division, man, I had a great conversation with that guy, and if you're one of those people who's in it for the reason of like, hey, I want to be the quality person, like I want to deliver quality to people, because that's why I got into this in the first place, is there's just something about delivering quality that resonates with you. That's what he's all about. Super impressed with the backing plate, really excited to continue trying it out, and yeah, go check out Detail Division. I just bought this backing plate and had said, hey, I'm about to do a video, could I ask you a couple questions about this thing? And so we chatted a little bit, and he explained a little bit about the plate, and like I said, if I messed up some of the info, I apologize, but so far so good. And like I said, I can't wait to go to town mowing down paint. Check out this video if you want to see me take some swirls out of a black truck, holograms, buffer trails, whatever you want to call them. We'll see you over on the next video. Thanks, guys.